Okay. Next we have viroids. So we have discussed virus. Next we have viroids. So we're going to see the characters of viroids. So it was first discovered by Theo Dehner. The name of the scientist is known as Theo Dehner. He was the first person that discovers viroids. Now what are viroids? They are infectious nucleic acid without protein. Remember, they are infectious nucleic acid without protein. उसका body में protein नहीं होंगे. Next characters, they are pathogen of plant only. Okay, so this type of virus only cause disease in plants only. They contain single-stranded RNA molecule. So remember this, they do not contain DNA, they contain RNA, and RNA is always single-stranded only. Remember, RNA is always single-stranded molecule, so they contain single-stranded RNA molecule, and it is the infective part. That means it is the nucleic acid only, so it is the infective part. They cause diseases, single-stranded RNA molecule. So that's all about viroids. You need to know about one example of viroids that cause disease in a plant, known as PSTD. It stands for potato spindle tuber disease. This type of virus that cause disease in potato, known as potato spindle tuber disease. In short, we say PSTD. Okay. So next we have prions. This all about viroids. Next we have prions. So prions are infectious protein without nucleic acid. So in that case, the nucleic acid will be absent, and the infective part are protein. Infective part are protein. Okay, this is protein. So next, they cause degenerative disease in central nervous system. They cause degenerative disease in central nervous system. Okay, it causes diseases in brain, mainly in brain. So if the question comes from prion, it will come for 1 or 2 mark only. So I'll give you one or a few examples. There is a disease called mad cow disease. Mad cow disease. It is caused by virus, prion only, but the name is bovine spongiform and cephalopathy. Bovine spongiform and cephalopathy. Another one I'll give you. Scraphic disease. Scraphic disease in sheep. traffic disease in sheep. Okay, these are the important points of prions. We have discussed virus, we have discussed viroids, we have discussed mycorrhiza, and then lichen. So these all organisms did not get any place in any of the kingdom system of classification because of their complex behavior and characters. So we need to study because they show some important characters. So with this we have completed this chapter, biological classification. So let's revise. Why biological classification? See, we have a huge numbers of living plant specimen, animal specimen exist in this environment. To know in a better way, we place in a particular kingdom system of classification based on their characters, based on their nature, based on their food habitat, based on their reproduction. So based on all those, we have placed all those characters under a specific biological system of classification, and that we call it as a kingdom system of classification. So because we are talking about the botany plants, here we will classify plants only. Okay, why it is necessary? Because to know each and every organisms specifically in the easiest manner. So we have, starting from two kingdom system of classification, which was first given by Aristotle, Plenty and Animalia, but this kingdom were discarded because it has drawbacks. Why? Because he proposed his kingdom based on the characters that appears from outside. He did not observe the characters from inside. Okay, that's why his character were discarded, but still he was the first person who gave us idea, who gave the classification. But then the modified version of classification was given by Carolus Linnaeus, Plenty and Animalia, where plants are kept under Plenty, where animals are kept under Animalia. So we accept that kingdom. Okay, then it comes another kingdom, three kingdom system of classification given by Ernest Haeckel. Protista kingdom he proposed. Under Protista he kept all unicellular eukaryotic organism. For example, dinoflagellate are there, diatoms are there, euglena are there. So we have discussed all those characters. Then again it comes another kingdom, four kingdom system of classification, where H.F. Copeland he proposed new kingdom, Monera, where he kept all prokaryotic organisms like eubacteria, archaebacteria, mycoplasma, all those organisms he kept. Then again new kingdom has been published. It was proposed by R.S. Whittaker, fungi, and we accept and we follow five kingdom system of classification because the classification he proposed was accurate and he classified based on the external characters as well as internal characters of the organisms. Okay, keeping in mind of the mode of nutrition, mode of cellular and unicellular organism, and all those characters. So these were the criteria he classified fungi. So fungi are classified into Phycomycetes, Ascomycetes, Basidiomycetes, Deuteromycetes, all the characters along with the example we have discussed. Phycomycetes again classified into Zygomycetes and Oomycetes. So along with the classification, remember the other name of that also. Okay, so we have discussed the characters of fungi, we have discussed. So apart from that, we have discussed mycorrhiza, we have discussed lichen, we have discussed virus, very important, viroids, prions. So that's it. With all this we have completed this chapter, biological classification. Okay, so botany part, first chapter we have completed, then second chapter we have completed. Now in next video lecture we'll discuss the third chapter, that is the plant kingdom, where we are going to talk about all the plant parts, morphology characters, anatomical characters, all the plant part we will discuss in next chapter. Thank you.